Hello, and welcome to the third of our Rolling Escapades Season 2 Session Zeros. It's going to be a lot of fun. At this point, I mean, you've watched two. You should have seen. Hopefully, you've gone and watched Nathan's and Swin's. If you haven't, go watch them because they're pretty good. But again, just to reiterate, this is sort of a way to get an idea of what the characters that people are playing are, maybe some information about their background, where they come from, and sort of some key events that happened in their backstory. As always, we are sponsored by Destai. I know there is going to be somewhere on the screen around me there is a picture because I forgot to pick up the business cards today, but there is a link in the description that will lead you to their website. Destai make all sorts of fun chainmail things, such as key rings, necklaces, rings, bracelets, dice bags. It's all pretty cool, so go check out them. You will also find in the description below some links to a guy called Christopher Rolls, I'm still not sure how to pronounce the name, I really should check that, who is creating artwork for us for this season and this campaign. So that's pretty cool. There'll be a link to some of his stuff in the description, and once the artwork is finished, you will be able to see it. We don't have it yet, but that will be available for the first official episode of the campaign. But yeah, the other stuff, there's links to his artwork stuff. You'll also find links to his DM's Guild stuff. His probably most known thing is Izzy's Slightly Used Airships, which is a cool little PDF that gives you rules for differing types of airships, so you can have it be different to the airship that's just this in the DMG. So there's multiple types of airships, and it gives you the vendor Izzy who sells them, which is also pretty sweet. And then from that, he's also quite recently created airship combat rules, which is pretty cool. It means you can have airship fights in the air with like pirates and shit, and he's created the rules to make that work, which is funky. It's pretty cool. I haven't yet got that. I got his airship one, which is cool. I need to get the combat rules. But yeah, so he's our artist for this season. I think that covers the announcements. So we'll talk about. Obviously, we have Jordan here for his session 0. You are playing a what elf was a high elf? High elf sorcerer. I believe storm sorcerer.
Yeah.
Sweet. Who goes by the name of Aegis Brythyra. I'll make sure I get that name right because I spent the whole of John's mispronouncing his name. Aegis, that's it. Not Aegis, Aegis. There's two ways of pronouncing that. Aegis Brythyra. Yes, you don't know I've spent the whole one of John's mispronouncing his name yet because it hasn't come out. Yay, filming schedules. It's fun. I like it, but it really does.
You at least managed to get them all done, which is
yeah. But yeah, so we're going to go into a little bit about what Aegis is about and some of the key events that happened in his background.
Yes.
So, Aegis, you are in your the settlement that your family set up during the war. The sort of safe haven you created for those injured or affected by the combat initiated by the humans, elves, dwarves, and halflings. The combat and the war that your family disagreed with on a base level. They always thought it was a bad idea. It's currently nighttime. You are in your room in the sort of very simple hut that you have as your house, and you are meditating. As elves are want to do, you are using the time you meditate, your 4 hours of rest, to relive the memories of your training. The training you do to control your magic and learn how to put it to good use. And yeah, just the stuff that you have learned. You are past the age where you no longer have control over those memories. You know you don't have the memories of your ancestors anymore. You've come of age, so that is something of the past, and eventually will be something of your future, which is standard amongst elves and their trances. Once they've reached a certain age, they are able to control their meditations and use it as further training, reliving memories and honing their skills. However, as you are reliving your memories of the previous day and your training, you have a vision of something that you did not will there.
Okay.
You have a series of just like flashing, very quick images. You have an image of a red rose with a water droplet running down it. And it's there briefly, and then it disappears. And you have a stream, the image of a stream running down a small gully.
I'm going to keep notes on this. I feel this is going to be important.
It might be, it might not be.
Okay. Let's see. Notes. Yeah, notes. Let's go with other.
That's fair. I'll tell you what, if you can't get them all down quick enough, I'll go through again with you at a later point.
Alright, cool.
Just so you can, yeah.
Red rose. I'm sure there's going to be a lot then.
There might be.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a small little stream sort of running across like pebbles and rocks before it falls off. It's like waterfall, and then that's gone. You see a field of grass laid out before you, and wind sort of blowing through it, and the grass bending to the movement of the wind. You see a single snowflake sort of just falling and drifting through the air. Nothing else around the rest of these images. The rest of it is just darkness or non-existence. You just have these singular things. And then you see, very suddenly, a male elf. Not sure what type of elf. It doesn't seem to... As you're looking at them, they don't seem to maintain the same form, as it were. They do look elf. They look elvish. They're definitely an elf.
Male elf of no set appearance.
Yeah. Although the one thing you do notice is they are stunningly beautiful. Even amongst like the beauty standards of elves and elven kind, this particular elf that you're saying, you've never seen them before in your life, but they are stunning. And as you can see them, you sort of have them at a sort of like side profile initially, and they sort of turn and they look at you, and you can feel something, even through your trance, you can feel like something is looking at you. It's not just, you straight up feel like this is something looking at you, this is a creature. And they raise their right hand, turn it, and start beckoning you closer.
Okay. So, I guess I try to will myself somewhat closer.
You start sort of... It's weird. So you think you're still in a trance, and you sort of will yourself forward. As you sort of think about moving forward, you feel like your actual body moving. You feel like you're actually walking forwards. But there isn't anything there. If you pay attention.
Can I sense anything else around?
No, there's just nothing there. Yeah.
Is it just a void or floating in the middle of light, or?
It's just sort of light. Yeah, it's just white nothingness mostly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd focus. Can I still feel my body, or?
Yep, you still feel your body. Yeah, it's a really weird sensation because you can still feel your body on
you're
your
not
bed.
There, but you can...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
You've got those two things where you're walking but you're sitting at the same time, and it's a little off-putting.
Can I think? Have I ever heard of anything like this happening to any gnomes before?
Possibly. Make a
That was quick.
make a history check. You very quickly, just in your trance,
Trying to bring back.
bring back some memories.
Which is convenient. I'm in a trance for it.
Yes, but you're also in a trance you can't fully control at the moment.
16.
Cool. That's a good start.
Plus, and there is a plus on this.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
It's only plus 1, so it's a 17.
17. Okay. The concept of this rings a bell to you. Obviously, as when you trance in your early life and late life, you relive the memories of your ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't always get to control what's going on. So during the peak of your prime, sort of thing. But you've definitely heard rumours of sort of elves your age or slightly older, the ones that haven't started their remembrance yet, who have had things like this. But you can't quite. It's like
can't grasp.
Yeah, you've heard someone say something about it, but it was like a passing conversation, briefly stated, and at the time it didn't make sense because it doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be a thing that occurs.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
but it is.
I float forward then.
Yeah, but it is something that you think you might be able to find some more information about.
Okay, cool.
So you start floating forward, and as you do so, the male elf before you opens his mouth as if to speak, and then the vision is gone, and you are broken from your trance to the sounds of screaming and panic and shouting and the orange flicker of flames.
Okay. Yeah, I will quickly... What am I wearing? Just things to rest in, or...?
I mean, probably wherever you'd rest in, but I also imagine your standard clothing is not difficult to quickly swap into.
And I'm going to regret this. I didn't cast any spells the previous day, did I?
No, you actually didn't. You're fine.
Okay.
You're all good.
There's a small chance of you going, yes, you did all of them.
Oh, yeah. No, you burned every spell slot. No, you were good the last day.
Alright, cool. I will grab my focusing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I chose crystal.
Yep.
And I will extinguish... Is there a light on currently?
Possibly. Would you have left the candle lit, or would you trust some darkness?
Possibly to assist in meditation.
Possibly. Then yeah, there'll be a.
I will immediately extinguish the candle.
Cool.
And then go to the window and look out to see
Cool.
what I can see going on.
Yeah. So you step out to the window and peer out across the scene. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
That's not so good.
It's alright. You are an elf.
Still. Perception, I got an 11.
11, cool. Having a look around, you can see it's not a very large settlement. There's a couple of hundred people here living here, but you do see there are a fair few buildings that are currently on fire, like proper, like actual inferno. You can see most of the sort of civilians are just sort of running around in a panic, not really sure what's going on. The few sort of fighters of the group, as it were, are locked in combat with a bunch of dwarves that you recognise by sort of their armour more than anything. It's a group that your community has had issues with before. It's a raiding group who have created. They've never attacked the town, but they have raided hunting parties and people travelling and things like that. This is a full-on. They're attacking your settlement, and the place is on fire.
I am going to start running downstairs. I'm going
Yep.
to while I'm doing so, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Yep. Yes, you are.
Yeah, so that's I've cast that spell.
Mm-hmm.
Does it automatically change it now though? Sorry, I was checking to see if it automatically changes it if I say cast Mage Armor. Does it actually edit it does not, so
yeah,
I think I've got 15 armor class.
Yes,
then.
13 plus your
plus
dex.
2 dex, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So 15 AC right now. Note it.
Yes.
Cool.
Because I haven't got that written down.
No, that's fine. Cool. So you run your way downstairs. You make your way out the building.
What's the closest group of people fighting currently?
I mean, it's you can see them because of the light of the flames, the silhouette, all that, and the height you were at allowed it to sort of see. There's no one like in the immediate vicinity of your particular building.
Okay.
Of particular interest that you would have noted is most of the dwarves and flames are sort of to the southern end of town.
Okay.
Which is where a lot of your like supplies and stuff are kept.
Okay.
But the direct opposite side of town, the northern end, is where your mother and the rest of your family stay.
My family decided to set this community to try and help people, so I would go to try and assist the defenders first.
That's fair. Yeah, that's cool. So you start making your way towards the southern end.
Is there anyone around I can see who could be of assistance in the fighting as we're running?
Not at the moment in time. Not at this
Just as
moment
I'm
in time.
travelling.
Yeah, as you're running. Well, you don't get to run very far.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Because as you're running, two dwarves that you didn't notice step out from the shadows of the building opposite from you, and they were standing like deep in the doorway, and you just did not spot them.
Okay.
They are members of the bandit thing.
Yeah.
One of them is carrying a scimitar. One of them is carrying a crossbow. And I would like you to roll initiative, please. What was your initiative roll?
19.
19. That is higher than their initiative roll of 12. So they have stepped forward. The one with the scimitar is obviously ready. One is ready to go at you, and the crossbow is sort of lining it up to aim at you. And you do hear, even over the sounds, they have to talk relatively loudly even to themselves because there's a lot of noise going on. The crossbowmen say, "Make sure to keep him here. We're here to kill his mother after all."
I cast Shatter.
Cool. Alright, they've both got to make con saves.
Which is unfortunate against dwarves, but...
Yeah. So that one is a 14. And that one is a 12.
They both fail.
Cool, there we go.
So it's 3d8.
Yep.
None of my d8s came out of my bag. 1, 2, 3. 7.
7 damage, cool. So as you unleash this screeching sound, you do watch as both the doors sort of recoil back from it, and sort of like both grasp at their ears, bringing in pain. They are hurt by that. And doing anything else?
I'm going to pull back. So how far away are they from me?
They're literally like, they're probably about 15 or so feet away because it's just on the other side of this sort of street.
Can I duck back into my house?
You can go back in the house, yeah?
I'll drop back. So how far back to my house from here?
I mean, this is literally as you stepped out and started running, you're at the doorway.
Okay. I will go in, I will close the door,
Yep.
lock the door,
Cool.
and can I brace the door? No, that's not a good idea for my character. No, I would then pull back so that I'm not in range, not visible from the window.
Okay. Cool. So essentially you're just like ducking back inside the house and trying to get out of the way. Cool.
Fine.
That's fine. Alright, there go. Cool. You hear from outside them heavy footfalls as they run, and then the sound of shattering glass.
Through the window?
No, against the door.
Oh, fire.
Yep. Yep. They smash something against the door.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that's what they do.
Alright, so I guess... can I go to the window?
You can't go
What's
to the
going
window.
out on outside? Alright. Yeah, I'll go to the window and
Cool.
see if I can look out, see what's happening.
Cool. You have a peer out. How in depth are you making this search?
Oh, a very quick glance.
Okay, that's fine. Make a perception check with disadvantage.
9.
9.
I think. Yeah, +2.
Cool. Having a quick look around, you can't see the dwarves. You do make out though that the door is stained with a very thick liquid.
I'm going to open the door.
Cool.
And can I see anything better now that I've suddenly got a better look?
Weirdly enough, no. You can't really see where they've gone.
And since I know now they're after my mother, I'm going to head towards her place.
Head towards the north. That's fair. That makes sense. Are you dashing?
No, I'm going to be moving and being prepared to dodge.
Okay.
Because I've just been attacked and I don't know if it's going to be a surprise, so I'm keeping I'm being quite wary right now.
Yeah. So you're
at least for the first little bit.
Yeah. So you're using your movement and then dodging, so it's just to make anything that attacks you slightly better. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. As you make your way up the street, you can see the dwarves at this point because they have basically docked around the side of your house.
Okay.
And have just stepped out of the way. So you run past them, not like directly next to them, but would
this have been before I used up all my movement? I could turn and attack them instead.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Okay, I will turn and use Firebolt on the one with the scimitar.
Go for it. Make an attack roll.
That hit.
That will hit. Yeah.
19 plus 7.
That will hit. Yeah. That firebolt streaks across and strikes him in the chest. Roll some damage.
That's a D10.
Yep.
It's a 7.
Cool. So he's taken 14 damage so far. Good to know. He looks, following the shatter and the burn, he's looking really, really hurt. He's getting on. He's still there, but he's taken damage.
Okay.
Cool. That makes it to their turn. The guy with the crossbow is going to attempt to shoot you with a crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
That's cocked. Let's try that again. There we go. He will miss with a natural 1.
Shoots his friend in the foot.
he just misses. Yeah. And then the other dwarf with the scimitar is going to. He doesn't look happy about it, but he's been here to do one thing, so he's going to run up to you.
This is the guy with.
He's got like fuck all left. Yeah, this is guy. As he gets close, you can some light flickers past some of the other buildings. You can see like his torso is properly burned and the lower part of his neck. And he just has blood just running from his nose and his ears from the damage that you've done. Yeah, he is hurting. But he's going to take a swing with the scimitar. An 18 will hit you.
It will, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That will do 6 points of slashing damage as the scimitar comes across your chest.
Alright.
That will make it your turn.
I'm going to use Shocking Grasp.
Yeah. Go for it.
Ooh, maybe not. 13.
13 does hit because he's only wearing leather armor.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so...
He takes 1d8 lightning damage.
8.
Yeah, you
he fries.
You zap him. The lightning sort of strikes up and down his...
and then I will retreat around the corner of the building.
You run off, yeah. At which point you hear the other dwarf sort of curse.
Because they said they're meant to delay me.
Yeah, they're meant to delay you.
So I'm just running this time.
Yeah, so you yeah,
I'm outright sprinting from now on.
So 30 feet forward.
Only 30 feet this time, but...
Yep. You do hear... He has to dash, but he will dash. He dashes to you, because that's the best he can do right now. But he does now hold the scimitar in his hand, because he collected it on his way.
Okay.
So he just scimitar... actually, we can't attack you, because he had to use his action to dash.
I'm going to shocking grasp.
Yeah, you are.
Natural 20.
Oh.
So 2d8?
2d8 damage to this guy.
9 only.
9. Nope, that's enough.
Okay.
You get him as well.
And then I turn and keep running. I'm not even slowing. Actually, I can't use a scimitar. I'm going to keep running.
Cool.
Can I use a scimitar? No.
I don't think you. I don't think you have.
I've only got elven proficiencies as far as I know.
No, the elven proficiencies are longsword, short sword, longbow, short bow.
Oh,
so you can't even use the crossbow he had.
I can use a crossbow apparently.
Oh, you get that for being.
I did a investigator or something, didn't I?
You get that for being a sorcerer. Actually, thinking about it.
Yeah, crossbow.
They get light light crossbows. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can actually use a crossbow.
Mhm.
Oh. No, I'll use spells. It's better for me.
Spells are better.
Yeah. I will use the crossbow. Yeah. I will then run.
That's fine. So you blast him with the fury of "You are not stopping me," and sprint across town towards your mothers.
I will keep not a great an eye out for both enemies and anyone I could call to assist me because I found what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if I see anyone who maybe a guard who's up north and is trying to get south to help, I say no. I've heard they're attacking my family.
That's fair. As you're making your way, for the most part, you don't really see everyone. The most of the activity is happening south. They've done a particularly good job of creating that southern distraction, especially as that's where the supplies are.
Yeah.
Which are necessary to keep a community living. But you do sprint across town. No one else stops you. No one else gets in your way. And as you are making your way to your mother, you get to her home. At the point you do become aware of a couple of other people making their way there as well. There's a sort of like battle-hardened human fighter with his great axe. You can see he looks scarred anyway. He's got a new scar across his face. Something's like carved through a section of his cheek. And there's a halfling with a knocked arrow and a short bow who's sort of creeping along, who doesn't look injured but is covered in blood. And they look at you and nod as they've come to the same conclusion, but they've done it without information. they've just come because it's like this is a little too good. But as you get there and start making your way into the up to the door of the house and start making your way in, you hear like a sudden. It's like a whistle of some sort, very high pitched, and it travels. Like as where you're standing, it's like piercing in your ear, and you notice a group of 7 bloodied dwarves all wearing this same armor. Same style armor, except these guys are all in plate mail rather than leather armor of the other guys.
Wow.
They sort of jump out through one of the windows, have a quick look around, notice you and the other 3, and just full on sprint the other direction.
The same direction we're going?
No, away from. They jumped from your mother's home and are sprinting towards the edge of town.
How far away are they?
At that particular point, not very, but as they run, they are running way faster than they should be. They are very, very quick.
So how far away are they right now?
So you get there, they're about 30 or so feet away from you. When they first jump out the window.
Okay, so is it the Nargo, or are they immediately running off?
They jump out and full and sprint, and they go. They sprint like 100 feet down the road. Yeah. Yeah, they're
Alright.
they are moving very fast.
So there's one guy. So there's 100 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
Did any look particularly injured?
They look like they've taken like some damage and they have blood on them, but they didn't look like too hurt, as it were.
Okay, I am going to run 30 feet forward.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any loose cobblestones on the floor?
There's probably bits of wood and stuff. In fact, there's bits of glass where they just jumped out the window.
I'm going to use a level 2 catapult to lob it at the most damaged looking one, the most injured looking one, to try and take out his legs. One of his legs.
Cool. That
Which is
is
a dex save.
yeah, it is a dex save, but that is a 20. There's a shot of glass. Yeah.
Dwarf. Alright.
Well, special kind of dwarf.
Yeah. Alright. Worth a shot at least.
Yeah. So the glass just.
I'm not going to catch him, so I'm going to go and search.
Yeah.
See what's happened.
That's it. Because as you turn to walk, they full on like another 100. They disappear from your vision. They go.
I just realised I could have used Chaos Bolt.
I mean, you might have done damage to a couple of them, but
I probably wouldn't have taken any out.
yeah, they're designed to get in, do what they're doing, and get out.
So I'm going to go find out what's happening.
That's cool. So
Is
you
the
make
door
your
locked, or do I have to go through the window?
the door isn't locked. In fact, the door's like kicked in, but it's
I'll run in and find out what's happening.
but it's kicked in against its hinges. Well, doors open in. No, doors open in.
Most doors open in, but yes,
Some
I'd say it's kicked in.
Yeah.
A house, going to a house, it's always inwards.
Yeah. So it's been kicked in. They've just for some reason they took the window maybe because it was a quicker route for where they're going to.
Mm.
You make your way in. The two who turned up, the halfling and the human who turned up before, have just sort of seen that and gone, "We're not catching this," and just gone straight in, like not even bothered.
I ran forward, took a shot. And
then was like, "Oh, never mind, they're gone. Fuck, they're fast."
That's about as much as I could do.
Yeah. So you head into the thing and you make your way upstairs. You can see like bloody footprints up the stairs. And you head into where you know your mother's room is, where the human and the halfling are. And they are sort of your mother is in her bed. She doesn't look particularly healthy. Her skin is very, very pale. And where there would be you wouldn't normally be able to see her veins, but you can right now because they're just pulsing black.
Right.
And it's just across her face, across her hands and her arms, her legs. It's her whole body has these black veins sort of running through them.
Knowledge of what it might have been. I'm assuming she's been poisoned just by the fact that it's not.
It's safe as that. She definitely has like a gash in her side, and the edges of that gash are black. And even if you stepped in, this has obviously just happened. You can sort of smell decaying, rotting flesh.
I do check. Do they have any knowledge of medicine, poison? Do I know that already? Because you say I recognise them.
Yeah. No, the halfling is a ranger. He's one of the people who normally goes out and collects things from the forest.
Oh, okay.
And he is immediately like putting out various herbs and stuff that he has on him.
Do I know of any medical supplies that our mother would keep in the house? Even if it's just like bandages and stuff like that.
She might have some bandages. Yeah, you'll be able to go find what she does. It's not going to be much.
I don't imagine it would be.
Yeah.
But I thought it's.
Yeah.
People have at least one or two little things.
Yeah, she'll have some.
And anything at this point could help.
Yeah, she'll have like some general healing herbs, bandages, clean cloths and stuff to which you can wipe out wounds. You go around and collect that. The halfling is appreciative of that. You discover through various, as you're talking to him, he's literally he's just come back from collecting. There are certain things that you can collect better at night. Okay. And that's what he was doing, and he's got herbs on him right now for curing poisons.
It's very helpful.
Yes, it is. However, he doesn't know what this poison is and what it does. He's never encountered it before, and whilst he's able to sort of bandage the wound, and with the help of
wash
his
as much poison out of the actual that's left over.
yeah, as much as
can.
can.
Tell him, can he try and gather what remains of the poison in?
He pulls out from the wound what he can, and he makes use of his natural magic, his druidic magic to heal. So he does close the gash, and he removes as much of the poison he can from the gash initially with the cloths and stuff, and he makes an attempt to remove the poison from his system, but he finds he cannot. Whatever this is, it does not respond to healing magic, and he doesn't have it. He doesn't know what the poison is. So she no longer has a rotting gash in her side, but she's but she's she's still unconscious, and she's still covered in these black veins, just coursing through her system, and the halfling is completely thrown. He has no idea what's going on.
Do I know of anyone better in the settlement that might have a better idea, or?
Possibly, you have a cleric of Myeliki who stays here. She likes you're pretty isolated, so she likes being able where you are is a nice place to go stay inside the forest and stuff. She might know stuff. She's almost certainly awake at this point. Whether she has any spells left is a different matter.
Yes.
Because she's probably healing people. But the human will go see if you can track her down. After like 10-15 minutes, he comes back, which is surprisingly quick. He comes back with like more people. There's a whole bunch of like various guards and stuff. It turns out that that high-pitched whistle was some sort of signal. The moment that went off, all the dwarves left. They just immediately fled.
Okay.
So she attempts what she can. She makes use of she casts Lesser Restoration and Greater Restoration and Remove Curse, and they do not work.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. This is something designed to
be worked on by magic.
Yeah, and it's not a poison they've encountered. Either her or the halfling have encountered before. So it's not something they know an antidote for.
Definitely keeping those rags that've got the remains of that on.
Yes. Yeah. She will collect some vials around your mother's and sort of like stopper them in vials to prevent that poison going to someone else.
Yeah. While this is going on, because I'm going to try and organise things a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So to try and find out exactly what's happened around town, how the supplies and such. So I'll ask all the people who've been fighting what they know. Yep.
So essentially, what happened is during the course of the night, this dwarven bandit group, the dwarven bandits, sort of a couple of them snuck in and set fire to a couple of buildings, and then when it came to investigate to see what was going on, they just started a fight with them, and it was just a sort of like more and more of them just kept coming in, lighting more buildings on fire, and the guards did what they could to hold them off. Fortunately, although the buildings were on fire, the buildings have suffered damage, but the flames never really made it to the interior. It was all lit from the outside.
Still safe.
Yes. The buildings they're restored in aren't going to be suitable for storing anymore until repairs are made. But your supplies are still fine. The only big thing that's come out of this is the fact that your mother, the leader of the settlement, is now unconscious and not responsive.
Okay then. So, how many wounded, or?
There are a few wounded. Mostly the fighters, though.
No deaths, though.
No deaths. No.
Oh, that's something at least.
Yeah.
Was any of the dwarves captured?
They were not. It was an interesting thing. They actually only find 2 dead dwarves.
Who I killed.
Which are the 2 that you killed? Yes. Because the rest of them, as you get the sort of information in from the guards, they weren't really fighting so much as
delaying.
Yeah. They were just getting in the way. They weren't really striking. They were always in like a defensive stance until you tried to back away from them, and then they would go on the aggression until you take back. So it was just very much they were just trying to keep people there and engaged, but were not trying to actually kill anyone.
All right. I will tell people to rest tonight, although some guards to keep watch just in case they do return.
Yep.
And I will try and sort things out better in the morning after everyone's more awake, because I'm assuming it's early morning.
Yeah, you're talking like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. That's cool. The night passes. No further incidents occur. The morning comes. With the light of the sun, your mother looks worse in the day than she did at night. Not in that her she's got worse. It's just you couldn't in the darkness. Yeah, you couldn't really see it. Her skin is sort of semi-translucent. The black veins are just horrible to look at. And she just does not. She feels very cold to the touch.
Climby.
Yeah. But she is breathing.
That's something at least.
Yeah. But over the next sort of few days.
I was going to say, before that, I would like to ask any of the hunters or people who are quite stealthy to see if they can either follow the tracks or backtrack where the dwarves came from to try and find out where they've been, where they're going.
That's cool. So they'll send out some parties. They'll have a look around. They come back very quickly, actually, after about like 5 or so minutes, to say they could follow the track to the dwarves out until about 200 or so feet outside of town, and then the tracks just stop.
No odd things around it, no.
Completely gone. Yeah.
Even coming into town.
Yep.
Even the ones that seem to be more of a distraction then.
Yep.
Okay.
All the tracks have been hidden, which isn't abnormal. Even when they perform the raids on people, they often don't leave tracks. And the people with access to natural magic, there is the spell Pass Without Trace, which is designed to make it impossible to track people for all intents and purposes.
And what did the 2 leather armoured dwarves have on them? Was it just the weaponry and stuff?
Yeah, just their weaponry. They didn't actually have. They have the symbol of the dwarven bandits, which is a lot sort of like a black snake coiled around a dagger. It's how you can identify who they are. Both wearing leather armor. One of them had the scimitar, one of them had the light crossbow, and a dozen or so bolts.
Okay.
But that was it. They have nothing else on them.
Alright, so I do search, try and organise things to maybe try and improve defences, because it might be a bit lax since the end of the war a few years back.
Yeah. You're a little bit. You're not really expecting anything. You never built walls because it was always supposed to be people can come and go. Yeah.
I might suggest putting up a small around the centre of town. Try and make supplies in the centre with a small palisade type thing around it from now on.
Yeah.
Just to make sure the supplies aren't going to get immediately damaged from people just sneaking in and burning it.
Yeah. That's cool. So you sort of keep the town running. You make some plans to help defend better. It's on the maybe 5th day, 6th day, after the ranger, the halfling, and the priestess have spent a long time sort of talking to each other, talking to the other people, working out information they have, going through what informational books you have. They've come to basically they genuinely cannot identify what this poison is and what it does.
So go to a larger set or more people
to
find out.
And they say they discuss about the fact that you've heard of, even where you are, the rumour of Jofrheim, the new city of Ravanor, the city of peace, as it's claimed to be, where the 4 races on this continent are attempting to live together. And it's possible that the city may have more information. They do have, it's assumed they will have clerics of Ioun there, which means that they have clerics. They have temples of Ioun, and temples of Ioun are filled with information on things.
Yeah.
And although the settlement has worked nicely for what it is, it's possible that it may be safer for people to move on.
I will ask people if they'd like to move there, and if so, would they like a party to go in advance to check to make sure it's okay for this many people, because it's a few hundred people.
Yeah.
Would be allowed to travel all at once.
Yes. Which it's about half the group would like to go. The other half are, even with they've become used to the... They
like the atmosphere, basically.
Yeah.
They like where they're living.
Yeah, they've become used to the reclusive lifestyle. It's very peaceful. It's very simple. It's very easy. You're talking basically all of the rangers want to stay there.
I'd imagine rangers, possibly some druids.
Yeah.
And just people who like farmsteading, I guess.
Yeah. The people who were were really seriously injured, either physically or mentally, by the war.
Go back to the
they're quite happy away from it all. Do you have a group of maybe 150 or so who are interested in travelling?
I'll ask for a volunteer party of, let's say, 7 members, including myself.
Okay.
To travel to Jotunheim to see if they'd be okay with 150 people migrating, basically.
That's fine. So that's easy enough. You will.
Does the cleric or any of the rangers or anything think that my mother could be able to be moved, or is it best to keep her where she is?
They're not sure about what the point is. They're right there is to keep her here.
Keep her there then, just in case.
Yeah, until you know more, because here she's not getting better, but she's not getting worse.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want to do is move her and have the poison intensify when they can't stop it.
Yeah. Okay. I'd also like to, so I've got, say, 5 fighters, me a sorcerer. Ask if the cleric wouldn't mind travelling with us, unless she wants to stay to look after people. Apparently,
she was intending to stay to keep an eye on both your mother and to help those who were badly injured.
The ranger that actually knew medicine. Then,
yes, he's willing to come with you. He's actually quite happy to travel with you.
Yeah, possibly another scout just in case.
Yeah, you'll get that halfling ranger will come with you, and the human with the barbarian will also travel. Fighter, sorry, will travel with you because he's had some wanderlust anyway.
There you go.
And it's not going to be an easy journey, and it sounds like a good fight, so he's down.
Go.
But the group of that 7 will travel across, mostly without incident.
How far are we expecting the journey to be?
It's quite a distance, actually, because you are in. If I remember correctly, is that where you are? I think that's where you are. Yeah, your settlement is within the Crystal Mountains. And you're heading over towards, essentially, you're on the continent, sort of the far eastern side of the continent, and you are heading over to the slightly northwestern side. You are basically traversing the continent. Yeah.
Okay.
So you are set up for a long journey, but So
I would say, are there any other cities on the way that I could ask about the poisoning in? Just in, not like, but just stop and say, would you?
Yeah.
Without giving up.
You may encounter other towns. You're not sure because you haven't left the area around your community for some time.
Okay, and you're not sure how it's.
Yeah, you don't know which towns survived, if any survived.
I would also say 3, maybe 4 days after. Remember that vision I seemed to have just before.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, other things happened.
And I'd like to remember that just before we leave. And so each night I'd like to see if I can try and get to that frame of mind again.
That's fine. And you try to, but you cannot. You can recall the experience, the memory, because it's a memory you have now. Yeah. But it's something that you're controlling. So all you can do with it is relive what you saw.
Do I get any more information out of the appearance or anything?
No, I think it's not something you know.
Well,
or it's just really odd because they're, you look at them and you think, oh, that's a high elf, and then you sort of
Oh, is it?
blink and focus. Like that might be a wood elf, or I don't know. Is it?
Yeah. Okay.
So
And I unfortunately forgot until we already left, so I couldn't check the books to see if I found any more information on it.
unfortunately.
Well, on the day, I can have a quick look, but I doubt I'll find it.
Yeah, you have a quick look, but there's nothing there about.
It jumps out.
Yeah, because whenever you look for trance memories that you can't control, it's your remembrance.
Mm-hmm.
That's when your remembrance is, but you're far too young for your remembrance to begin.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I'll ask people when they get to Jotunheim.
Yeah. So your group travels across. For the most part, it is uneventful. It's a long journey, but you're a small group.
Mm.
But big enough for people for things not to want to fight.
I will ask the ranger to bring one of the old maps and mark down any towns and such that are still,
Yes.
like anything we see that is still the same or has changed. So, this settlement's gone, this one's here, or a new settlement's sprung up here.
Which, you ask him to do that, and as you're walking, you suddenly become. It's really weird. You knew that there were elven cities that existed on Vivanel, and they were placed in particular locations. But as you're walking along, you can't remember where any of the elven cities are.
Is that a recent thing that's only just happened?
It's something you've just considered just now, because you've not really had to think about where the elven settlements are before. But as you're sitting here, like, I want to, let's go find some information. You cannot recall the location of. You remember that it existed, and you remember the ones that you visited and were in, but the actual name of the city and the location of the city on the continent is gone.
Okay. Well, that's
Yep. That's a weird one.
yeah. All right. Well, I'll be travelling.
That's cool. And as you,
even so, we still get better maps and updated.
Oh yeah, you get to start updating your map
and checking where we could resupply for this many people travelling. Which
That's
is going
fair.
to be
Yeah,
quite
you
important.
can pay attention on your way. But as you travel across the continent with your group, that is where we're going to call your session 0.
Okay.
that is everything I had planned, and a little bit more. So.
Oh, there you go.
Perfect. So yeah, there we go. That is a little bit of the
That's going to be fun.
backstory of Aegis and Aegis. Fucking hell. I will eventually get it right.
You've got years, I'm sure. Because you're just going to keep adding to this until we're over level 20.
Yeah. There's going to be so much going on in this. But yeah, cool. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have for some reason still only watched this one episode, do go back and watch the first 2 session 0s, Nathan's and Swin's. And if you want more of this, go watch our Rolling Escapades Season 1, which was we played the Storm King's Thunder campaign. So not homebrew, but still a fun campaign. And you can go watch Doom to Dice, which is the Tomb of Annihilation campaign. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we will see you in some more of our videos, and goodbye.